This is a spoken statement for coalition representatives delivered at the press conference on broken promises, missing women, audit of the primaries so far. Today, Monday, 18th May 2026, FCT Abuja. And this is addressed to all party chairmen of all political parties. Good afternoon, party chairmen, ladies and gentlemen of the press, and thank you for being here. We speak on behalf of Nigerian women and the coalition of civil society organizations in Nigeria. We address you directly today because the decisions you make in the next weeks will determine whether 2027 breaks from the past or repeats itself. Ahead of the 2027 elections, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, publicly promised greater inclusion of women in governance and political leadership. Speaking on International Women's Day 2026, he said, Nigeria's progress will continue to empower women and create conditions where every girl can learn and every woman can thrive economically. And he says, when Nigeria women rise, Nigeria rises. The Nigeria Governors Forum also made commitments towards increasing women's representation, particularly at state and legislative levels. At the 2025 NGF meeting, Chairman Governor Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak stated, the Nigerian Governors Forum has integrated the Nigeria for Women program into state-level plans and priorities. All other states are committed to domesticating the policy, ensuring inclusion and empowerment in every one of Nigeria's 774 local government areas. This commitment raised national expectations that this election cycle would be different. However, the primaries conducted so far have revealed a troubling gap between those promises and political reality. Early results emerging from the All Progressive Congress APC House of Representatives primary elections indicate a steep decline in female political representation. Minimally holding the line for female aspirants are just 6 states: Katsina, Edo, Imo, Ogun, Abia, and Benue, where a handful of women managed to secure tickets amid high-stakes internal decisions, high-profile disqualifications, and forced withdrawal.
The primary cycle has been heavily defined by targeted screening decisions and intense internal pressure. In Rivers State, the APC Senatorial Screening Committee sent shockwaves through the political landscape by disqualifying incumbent Rivers West Senator and former Deputy Governor, Dr. Epalebo Banigo. Senator Banigo stands out as one of the only 4 serving female senators in the 10th National Assembly. Also screened but not cleared is Engineer Noimot Oyedele Salako in Ogun State. Reports from multiple state chapters reveal that numerous other female candidates across the Federation were actively pressured to step down in favor of consensus arrangements. In Imo State, the APC adopted the highly competitive Option A4 open ballot voting system. While promoted as transparent, the process triggered major upsets for ranking lawmakers, including the Right Honorable Miriam Onoha, chairperson of the House Committee on Third Fund. As the APC continues to collect and ratify results nationally, other parties, including Labour, ADC, PDP, NDC, SDP, and AA, still have the opportunity to turn their forthcoming primaries into a genuinely inclusive democratic process. For the Labour Party, ADC, SDP, NDC, and AA, the primaries are still ahead. SDP is from the 19th to 22nd May, ADC from 21st to 26th May, AA on 26th May, while Labour Party and NDC are from 27th to 29th May. This is your window to turn commitments into candidacies. Our review of the APC primaries shows clearly that while women contested in significant numbers, the majority were sidelined at the point of candidate selection. We cannot afford a repeat across the remaining parties. The promises made by the President and Governors Forum cannot become symbolic statements without political action behind them. To the remaining political parties, there is still a clear and practical path forward. First, women should be actively considered for consensus arrangements where possible. Second, where no consensus emerges, the political will of parties must back qualified women to the finish line. Let us be clear on what will political will means. Political will is not measured by speeches, press statements, or conference communiques. It is measured by who finally appears on the ballot. Political will means using party structures to level the playing field, removing barriers as screening and selection, and refusing to let qualified women be filtered out through informal gatekeeping and political um, settlements.
The evidence is straightforward. One woman expands the voter base. Women are 49.7% of Nigeria's population, but remain under mobilized politically. A visible female candidate activates women voters, first-time voters, and families who want to represent who want representation focus on schools, healthcare, food security, and community welfare. Women improve party credibility and reduce reputational risks. Parties seen as inclusive score higher on trust and legitimacy, while female candidates are less associated with violence and vote buying politics. Three, women deliver measurable governance outcomes. Communities with stronger women's representation consistently show stronger attention to education, healthcare, water access, and grassroots development. Parties that give women a real chance do not weaken themselves politically. They strengthen their electoral advantage. Four, we are not here to attack parties. We are here to hold all political parties to the standards they publicly set for themselves. Parties want credibility heading into 2027 elections. Demonstrating inclusion builds that credibility and wins votes. Therefore, we call on political party chairmen of Labour Party, ADC, SDP, NDC, and AA to one, publish clear criteria of candidate selections before primaries begin. Two, track and disclose the number of male and female aspirants at every stage. Three, demonstrate genuine political will by dis, ensuring qualified women emerge on final candidate list submitted to INEC. The time for course correction is now. The primaries days are away. The promise have already been made by President Tinubu and the Nigerian Governors Forum. Nigerians are now watching to see whether those promises will be reality. We will continue to track inclusion across the 2027 election cycle and make our findings public. Nigerian voters deserve to know what political parties are turning commitments into candidacy and which parties are allowing women's political inclusion to remain only a talking point. Thank you. We will now take your questions.
All right, before we go on, I would like to please acknowledge distinguished women of note in this room, while the press statement was ongoing, who worked in dear Madam NLB, founder of NLB Foundation. She worked in here and the former women's and human rights activist. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. Great to have you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And also we do have Madam Felicia Onibon here, founder and was frontliner for 100 Women Lobby Group. Thank you, madam. It's also good to see you in the room. Please, you may have us answer your questions. Remember, 5 questions in total. So, and from across any of the media houses here.
This number 7 is very important. I would like to reiterate it at some point in time.
Just introduce yourself, your name, your first name is fine, and your media house, and ask the question. Unless we are all fine with the primaries the way they are.
Are they still taking that? Okay, while we are taking our time, I want to reiterate a comment my sisters here made, that we're not here to attack any political party. We are here to hold all political parties to the standards they have publicly set for themselves. Parties want credibility heading into 2027. Demonstrating inclusion, and inclusion is simple for us, involving women, including women. It builds credibility and it wins votes. Therefore, we call on all party chairmen of the APC, of Labour Party, of ADC, of SDP, of NDC, and AA, right, to publish clear criteria for candidate selection before primaries begin. We know primaries have already begun at some parties. We still want you to publish your clear criteria. Track and disclose the number of male and female aspirants at every stage. The reason we're asking this is we're aware that some women were screened and at the clearance stage, their names were nowhere to be found. And to demonstrate genuine political will by ensuring qualified women emerge on final candidate list submitted to INEC. So we're here to say that the rest of the primaries are days away, and that promises have already been made by the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Nigerian Governors Forum. And Nigerians are watching. We are make them responsible. Thank you.
All right, so I just want to add just briefly, the question on women stepping down, consensus candidacy, it may sound interesting now for some people, a plot at peaceful coexistence of candidates within the political party, especially the ruling one. But the danger is that the women who already came out to declare interest as aspirants are very small in number. So imagine that you have 20 men and 1 woman running, and then you ask that 1 woman to step down for 20 men. So that's what we are saying, that it must be fair, it must be transparent. The parties can have their internal working mechanism, but it must not discredit or exclude or ostracize women who are already minority in that aspiration outside the nomenclature of being able to vie and come out as a candidate. We have not even yet, Lois is here, she will speak to women with disability. We have not even seen any woman with disability screened or approved at any party level. Lois, I don't know if I'm correct with that.
Yes, you're correct.
And just to support what Adara said, we need to understand the context. Where you have 1 woman out of 20 candidates, you have 1 woman, you have 19 men, and you're asking that 1 woman and 3 men to step down. That percentage is so minimal. So why don't you say, okay, 2 men step down and then allow that woman to slug it out with the rest of the 17? That's all we're asking for. Lois, do you want to?
Yes. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lois, and I'm speaking on behalf of women and girls. Currently, and. Yes, I can hear you. 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 Yes, I can hear
Yes.
Who are totally and completely excluded in this.
So continue. Oh, TV people. I forgot. Thank you. Thank you. Is it better? Thank you, our brother.
Okay. So women and girls with disabilities are totally excluded in this whole process. I wanted to run for Senate in this space for participation to possibilities. Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen and women, ladies of the press. I would just like to add on to say that of the mindset and the political will of the Nigerian system, and we are totally very unhappy with it as the women, and we cannot continue to be marginalized. And at this point, I would like to, especially the media, call on you, the media. You are the fourth estate of the realm. You have a responsibility to continue to hold accountable and to ask relevant questions. So I would, at this point, particularly implore the media to begin to ask the correct questions, engage political parties, because we need to know, project women, and as much as possible, I would like to use this medium to call on you to please women aspirants and women who would eventually emerge, to highlight them, spotlight them, so that they are able to clinch the final support, because we understand that it's the time for money making. We also want to implore at this point that for those few women who are in power, that you please spotlight them in the positive light, amplify the work they do, and so that they are able to gain more attraction, and eventually for the few women who have actually emerged, they are able to clinch. That's my take. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would like to call on Madam Enobi to please also, because I know that it's also very critical in amplifying some of the issues that are ongoing.
You can come and stand down. Cover and shield them and cover up. From bullets.
I want to say thank you very much, and I'm so happy and really overwhelmed by what the media have been able to do so far over the years. So we are really happy to have this partnership with you, and I commend Women Radio, and all the organizations here present for this effort. The journey started. We got alarmed when they first started creating their committees. I think it was APC that they had about 74 members of the committee, only 2 women. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then they tried to resolve it by making it up to about 90 members of the committee, but with 4 women. PDP and other parties also started there. So we are just watching. We are watching for what will happen in 2027. A lady called me last night from, I think from Enugu State. She said, I won my primaries, but they are trying to turn it around. And this is the voices. These have been voices from 1999 with Chief Mrs. Oshomo, whom they denied her ticket after she won her primaries to be, to go in for gubernatorial election. And so we are just watching. Women, they use women for mobilizing people, but women are not enough to be on the table. But we started the journey together. In terms, many boys and girls are in primary school together. They grew up to go to secondary. At the end of the day, when it comes to politics, you cannot find the women. We are talking about development cannot start. A table does not stand on one leg. Does it stand on one leg? It cannot stand on one leg. And what we are saying is the quality of any decision that comes out depends on who is in the boardroom. Those who are not in the boardroom already, they have been defeated. Who decides for the Nigerian woman? Who is talking about the maternal mortality in Nigeria, which is one of the highest in the world, we are in the last 5 in the world in terms of maternal mortality, in terms of child mortality. And there is no woman to tell people what is happening to women in the maternity death road right now. Even as we're talking, since we started this press conference, many women have died on the maternity death road. Do you know the cost of CS and also for, the implications of childbirth right now? What are women going through? Who is talking about it? And so it's for us to let them know that we are holding people accountable. We will also go to the field and we'll be preaching where you have a party, you have a governor, but in the whole of your state, with the qualities of so many retired, even judges, you cannot find a woman as a deputy governor. You cannot find a woman as a vice president. You cannot as a vice chairman and so on. But the states that have done well so far, we congratulate them for admitting women as vice chairman, as chairman, and so on and so forth. So we're really happy to be here. This press conference is a sign that we're watching. Yes. And we will be holding you accountable. Thank you very much for the opportunity. It's good to watch everybody grow. It's better for me to stay there and watch you from there. It shows that I can walk out of the stage and the stage will still hold on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just before I call on Madam Felicia to have a few words, just briefly. This now emphasizes where we really do need the reserve seats, the special seats for women. This is an emergency because you can imagine that even without the quota system, that this will only get more tragic. And so it's a call for the 10th Parliament. I know that they're on their way out, but please remember that if nothing is done in terms of policy redirection, the special seats, please, it is a dynamic inroad for us to review at how this number passed. We probably would have had more women emerge as candidates at the primaries. But unfortunately, what we are seeing is that we may have to wait till 2031 if they don't pass this bill. So we are asking again with our hearts in our hands and ask that this promise that they have made to us by first even promising that that bill will be passed should be passed. Please. Madam Felicia. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for speak. I would just like to say that people have actually spoken the words that I need to add to all of this. However, to further express pain that many of us are trying to go through, I would just like to say that the issue of the special seats, that seats, we can still visit it. And we should revisit it with the kind of vigor that we all started with, so that they will know that we actually know what we are talking about. From what we are seeing today, if we don't do that, our women politicians not have any space. Even the APC. Today, I looked at the list of those they have endorsed. We don't even have any of the currently, the sitting legislators. We don't have any of them on the list. So what's going on? About 3 months ago, they had this idea that the female politicians given the opportunity to come back, that all those that are in parliament right now will have space, that they will be given the opportunity to come back to their current positions. But from what we are seeing, that's not, they are not seeing their names. So is it that their names will pop up after or just before election? No, we need to ask these questions and we need to check what is going on. Those women are not saying anything, and I don't really know why they are not. But we are in a position to actually speak on their behalf. And I do hope that our president kind enough to listen to us when we come out again to express our views in respect of the special seats.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions?
So I want to take it from where Madam Mary has mentioned Mr. President. So we are hearing and we are reading from the news that the APC primaries for it is not yet to hold, that the party will need to collate all primaries results to the national, and the national has the final decision. So here it's an opportunity for us to say that where they need to do some amendment in certain constituencies where women were, either somehow excluded, they should be reconsidered, especially for those who are serving House of Rep members and senators. They should be reconsidered and make sure that they are back on the ballot. The least we can do for Nigerian women is to ensure that those who are already holding the spaces are retaining those spaces. We should be talking about having additional women, not struggling to have retain those who were holding spaces for us at just less than 5% in National Assembly. Thank you.
Okay, just quickly, there's a comment that came in via our online platform. One person said, in some cases, some political parties advise women not to bother buying the nomination form as internal arrangements had already been made. And I think this had been expressly dealt with in the press statement. And one other person said, well, national working groups have been constituted, but only women leaders and deputy women leaders were elected. Now, if we do not have more women as part of that NWC, who will protect the interest of women? And I think that's a critical contribution. Thank you so much, everybody who sent in their contribution via our online platform. On that note, we want to say thank you to everyone. And I would want first, if there is any more questions from the media, is anyone wanting to ask any question at this point?
All right, thank you very much. We also feel that we need to acknowledge the women that have won their primaries. There are women who have won their primaries. We're very proud of them. We're organizing a summit. Every election cycle, we organize a summit where we gather aspirants. But this year, we're only gathering the candidates. So we're going to be honoring the candidates. We're going to be holding a summit, and we will be calling on you, our colleagues, to be there. And we always ask for 4 things that we know that can be done. We say that if women are contesting, support them in their campaigns. And the only way you, my colleagues, can support them is to continue to give the visibility you're giving them. We really, really, really appreciate what the media has done for us over the years. And we're just calling on you to please, when you identify any of the women that are candidates, please support them by writing about them, by talking about their achievements. Treat them the way you treat the men, in positive way. It's called affirmative reporting. It's actually called proper reportage. So report them well. Please, my colleagues, report them well. Identify their achievements. We will come up with a list of all the female candidates. We will share their detail with you. We will share their achievements with you. And we want you to use them in your editorials, in your political programs, on your radio, on your TV, everything you're publishing. Help us to promote and report the female candidates positively. The other thing you can do for them, right, is we ask everybody to fund them. If you have the money, the resources, support them, fund them, because we know the challenges they have. And then everybody can pray for them. But most importantly, we need you to get them to win the vote. We thank the media. I mean, the media has always been there for us, and we will not, when we win these elections and when Nigeria become the ideal place for all of us. The names of our media, the media will be remembered for the work you continue to do for us. Once again, we congratulate the women that have won their primaries. Thank you.
Okay, so for me, on behalf of Nigerian women, I just want to thank everyone here, especially the media. Thank you for honoring us just a very short notice and you're here. It shows that the partnership is working. And like Tom said, let's continue to work together till we get to the promised land. Thank you everyone for coming. And I wish you all a very beautiful day as you go back to your respective. Thank you.
Thank you.
WFM 91.7.